Hello everybody, welcome back to Sean's World. Now in today's video I'm going to be working on the outside of the window. I'm going to make a new sill for the outside because I'm not happy with the setup at the moment, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in detail shortly. And I'm going to put some angle beads up the side and do some lime rendering, so I need to really make it weatherproof. And yeah, we have had a lot of rain lately, so let's get this window sealed up. So, what the plan of attack is, at the moment we have this. Now, I'm not really happy with this as a seal. It doesn't really shed the water off the face, and as you can see at the back there's lots of holes there. So, the plan, we're going to take some tiles that I've got already and we're going to sit them in there, put a slight angle on them, so naturally when the water comes off here it will come off there and it will drip off the edge of here. I do plan to render the whole lot, so I do need, you know, a little bit of a lip there, which that will give me. So we'll set those in like that, and need a pair of hands, and that will be set in there like so. And then once that's on there, we'll render across here, thus eliminating that gap up there. Now, I don't plan to do the whole, you know, facades today or anything like that. It's just mainly getting this window set in and sealed off. It's no good working inside if you've got damp and moisture and that penetrating into the building. So that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to go and get some tiles. I've got a nice little stack over there, and get set up and get this set in before that sun comes over the top. And yeah, it's planned to be a really hot day. Don't really want to be doing too much render in the heat, so yeah, let's get this underway. So these are the tiles that I plan to use, so hopefully we can get away with probably 4 of these wide, but you never know. So I'll take a few over with me. As these are handmade, they vary in size, so it's going to be a little bit of mix and match. Hopefully I won't have to cut too many. And they're different lengths. Too big. I do plan to leave a gap between them so I can point it up. But not that much. Okay. Now if I can find another 2 this size, we're in business. You can always cut the overhang, you know, off afterwards with an angle grinder. I think we may be in luck. Right, let's go and find another 2 this size. Well, the term needle in a haystack came to mind when I was searching for these, but I think we've possibly got enough to do it. So yeah, we've got adequate spacing in between. Got a little bit of leeway on each end because I'm going to be rendering these reveals here. So I think we're in business. Let's get these off. Underneath there's lots of moss, so that's all got to be wire brushed out. The whole area's got to be prepared. Let's get cracking. So next job, give these a good clean up. It's all had a nice dust down. I'm going to get some water on there now, stop it drying out too quick. Get me lime mixed up in a bucket. We get this set. Now, I know lots of you said that you do like the red brick surround around the windows, but they're not original, so I need to unify all the facades really, so it's all going to be rendered eventually. That's progress. So this is why I painted the window outside. Any work like this, it's easier to clean down, doesn't damage the window, and then I'll give it 2 top coats once I've finished rendering everything. So that's the reason behind why I painted the window first. So I'm just getting ready to knock up some lime mortar and render, but before I do that, what I need to do is create a trim underneath the tiles. Now what that will do, if I don't put a trim now, once I point this section up here, when it gets to the end, water will just run down through the centre there. So I'm going to fabricate a piece of aluminium to go underneath there, and then that way I can point right to the end of the tile. I'll put a small return on the end of this underneath, and then any water comes across and it will just drip under and then straight down, thus protecting this section of the wall. So what I'm doing there is just opening up this edge here and creating the final drip, so the water will come off, go under and then just drop straight down. So that's what I'm doing there. And the screwdriver just allows me to dress that uneven edge along the straightness of the screwdriver. Nice and simple stuff, but it's well worth taking the time to do it correctly. It's like a glove. So we'll get that fixed down, that back edge there, and then as you can see underneath, because I can't, that's it, yeah, that will create the lip of the drip seal. So our tiles will sit like so. What that will allow is, once that's pointed up, it'll extend past the wall, thus creating a nice drip. So that's what we're aiming for. Now I might just have to go and look for another tile because I'm not happy with the edge of this one. It's broken off. It was the only one I could find at the time, so could still maybe get away with that, but I like things to be done just so. Okay, see if I can find another tile. So at first glance, yeah, I might be lucky with that one. It took a bit of searching, but it's worth it. Oh yeah, don't that look better? Yep, that's great. There we go. Lovely. Right, next stage, let's mix that lime render up. So I'm just about to knock up the lime mix. It's 2 parts sharp sand and 1 of lime. Mix it up dry, don't add the water just yet, make sure it's thoroughly mixed, then slowly add the water, keep it out of direct sun, cover it up where you can. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is get some lime right underneath the wooden seal, back it right up so it seals it nice and secure, because there's quite a gap there although it's foamed, and then create my gradient, bed my trim on, and then put the tiles on. So it's that area at the back there. We get a nice bed of lime in there, and that'll seal that window up nicely. So it's still in the rough stages at the moment. So basically this here is the aluminium drip seal. It's all pointed up underneath, so the water will come over, down, underneath, and then drip off before it hits the face of the wall. And the sun is coming over. It's not quite on the wall yet, on the window, so I'm okay. Got to keep the lime sort of moist so it doesn't dry out too quickly. You know, that can be an issue with lime, it drying out too quickly. It's a combination of moisture and the air that sets it, so you don't want it drying out too quickly, otherwise it will crack. Now just before it sets off properly, I shall just run this hose pipe along the joint to make sure it's looking really pretty. So yeah, handy little tip that, get yourself a bit of hose pipe and you can do your joints with that. Right, we just about beat the sun, so that's not too bad. I will cover this up once the full sun's on it so it doesn't dry out too quick, maybe with a moist sack or something, and yeah, that's the way to go forward when you're lime rendering, is cover your work up, especially if it's quite hot, with damp cloths like a Hessian, and in that way it will stop it drying out too quick, and just keep it moist if there's no rain for maybe 7 days. So yeah, it aids in the process of it curing. Oh, lots of flies. Right, time for a drink of water, it's rather hot. So the seal tiles are on, the corner beadings are on. Now it's time to cover it up to stop it drying out. The sun is just about coming over the top of the house. So the sun has gone in, it's clouded over. Now what I'm about to do is render in the side of the reveals into the window. So yeah, we've got the weather on our side, so let's get this rendered up. So, the reveals have finally set hard enough for me to work on the woodwork. Now the window's already, as you probably know, had 2 undercoats. I'm about to give it another 2 top coats. Weather's on our side, so I'm going to give it a light rub down, 2 top coats, and that will be the external side of things on the window complete. So let's take a closer look at the nearly finished window. Still got a little bit of sealing to do, siliconing. Basically, we're there with it. Like I say, this is going to be extended right the way across, and the same that side, but not just yet, because over by the door, the lintel there has got to be raised up so I can fit a bigger door there. So can't do the rendering on the outside just yet, and it's far too hot. So, but before I do that, I'll just show you what I done underneath with that drip seal. And then that way, instead of the pointing finishing there and all the water running down the wall, it can now run past the drip onto there and then straight off, keeping this nice and dry. So that was the reason behind that. Right, let's go indoors. Oh, what we got there? Butterfly. Let's let this butterfly up. Out you go. There we go. One nice terracotta seal. Nicely rendered. Yeah, not a bad view once I have a tidy up. I'd just like to thank Dr. Mike for purchasing the Aga handled breadboard from my website shop. It was much appreciated, and I'm sure, Bonnie, you're going to have a lovely anniversary and a lovely surprise on its way if you haven't already got it. Thank you very much. Now, when people buy stuff out of my shop, it helps fund this project, so I am, you know, really appreciative of what, you know, people do for me. So thank you once again for the purchase. It really does help. Talking of which, what am I going to be doing next? Right, well, let me show you. So with that purchase, I have managed to buy a roof window. Now that's going up in the bathroom area of the upstairs, and well, let me show you where it's going. So this quarter here is going to be designated as the upstairs bathroom. So the roof window that I've bought will be going somewhere in this area. Plan to have a shower, cubicle that side, toilet there, sink there, so I think the best place for the window will be there. Right, let's have a look, see what's going on. Ah yes, that reminds me, I've got to render that chimney up as well and fill in all these gaps. So yes, just reassessing the timbers, and they definitely need treating with some wood warmer. Yeah, maybe needs a little bit more reinforcing as well in places, but generally not too bad. Okay, lots of infilling up here. Fill all these gaps up. Yeah, which I knew about. And like I say, we render this up, the water's washed down and all the lime render's blown off the chimney. But not too bad. Okay. Right, so the first window I bought is going over here, and I think they call it Sod's Law. The only new timber that they've put in is exactly where I want to put my window, so okay. Yeah, put a new one in right the way, top to bottom. I'm probably going to have to cut through that. Yeah, never mind. Okay, right, that's one job. I've got infill down here. Yeah, the contentious beam. Now I was going to take that out, but that was before I sort of reassessed all the wall and the structure. And I don't think it's a good idea really to take that out at the moment, although I'd strengthen it in other ways. Yeah, I'm going to leave that and get on with the rest of the stuff. So it all needs a good hoover down. I'll have to get the scaffolding up here. We'll get the timbers treated. We'll get the roof windows in, or the start of the roof windows. We've got 4 up here in total, just in each quarter really. And yeah, then we can start getting the insulation in. So yeah, lots going to be happening very shortly. Now the more I look at this old clay wall, the more I think that really has to come down. There's a hell of a lot of weight there. And it's already started to come away since I last come up here. Yeah, that's moving. Yeah, there's a lot of weight in there. So maybe I'll better plan this in. Remove the whole of that wall down to the timber. At least that way we can treat the timbers. So yeah. So I don't think there's much point in me hoovering up just yet. On closer inspection, yeah, that wall has got to come down. So wall down, windows in, woodworm treatment. Then I've got to block up the gaps all the way around and then insulate. And then after tomorrow I'll do downstairs. But before I do go downstairs, I think I'm going to hire in a few extra hands to do this. Let's go through my telephone book. Who knows who's going to turn up. So yeah, of course, if you haven't already subscribed, subscribe. If you watched it and you like it, thumbs up, notification bells, yeah, the usual stuff. And if you can, stick the adverts on, put the kettle on, have a cup of tea. All helps. I think I might need it on this one.